To the Department of Justice now, preparing to hand over FBI agent Peter Strzok's anti-President Trump text messages as new details are unfolding about his role in the Clinton email and Russia investigations. And Todd Pyro joins us now with more on these developments this morning. Good morning, Todd.
Good morning, Heather. House Intel Committee Chair Devin Nunes demanded those text messages between FBI counterintelligence agent Peter Strzok and Lisa Page, an FBI lawyer with whom Strzok was romantically involved. Both were part of Robert Mueller's Russia team, but are no longer. House investigators have long regarded Strzok as a key figure in the chain of events from 2016 when the FBI received that infamous anti-Trump dossier and launched a counterintelligence investigation into Russian meddling in the election. Strzok also oversaw the FBI's interviews with ousted National Security Advisor Michael Flynn, who pleaded guilty Friday to lying to FBI investigators in the Russia probe. And it was Strzok who changed James Comey's draft language in the Hillary Clinton decision from grossly negligent, a phrase that carries possible criminal penalties, to extremely careless, a phrase with no real legal implications.
Peter Strzok's at the intersection of all of these players in all of these investigations. And it was so bad that Mueller fired him months ago, but has not cooperated with the House Intelligence Committee. They were not providing the documents. They were not going to make them, except for now that it's in the media, we're not going to make them available. Devin Nunes, Trey Gowdy been trying to get at this for a long, long time.
Nunes has been assured those text messages will be turned over in the coming days. Also happening today before the House Intel Committee, more questioning of Donald Trump Jr., who's expected to be grilled on his family's financial dealings with Russia and that meeting he had with a Russian lawyer who promised information on Hillary Clinton during the 2016 campaign. Heather?
Yeah, and then on top of all this, we hear yesterday about this other Mueller deputy, this top prosecutor, who sent a message praising someone who refused to follow what President Trump was trying to get done
to Sally
in
Yates,
terms of the travel ban. Yeah,
and a lot of questions still unanswered throughout this entire investigation.
Yeah, we're going to talk more about that later. Thank you so much, Todd. Appreciate it. Good to have you here.
13 minutes before the hour now, an FBI agent changed a key word or series of words in former FBI Director James Comey's statement on the Hillary Clinton email investigation. That's what a source tells our chief intelligence correspondent, Catherine Herridge. The special counsel, Robert Mueller, didn't fire him, relocated the agent from his team for sending the text messages that were apparently critical of President Trump. Let's bring in the Fox News senior judicial analyst, Judge Andrew Napolitano. The wording, the cry is that the wording was changed, and this changes everything.
Okay, we are talking about the wording in a public statement that then FBI Director Jim Comey made about whether or not the FBI thought Mrs. Clinton should be charged with espionage. The statement was made in July of 2015. And the statement said that Mrs. Clinton was extremely careless in the manner in which she cared for the state secrets that were in the emails. Or didn't, correct. We now learn through Catherine and our other colleagues that language, extremely careless, was suggested to Jim Comey by this same FBI agent, Peter Strzok.
And so, Peter Strzok did what? He sent some text to his girlfriend?
To his girlfriend, who's not his wife, who's a lawyer that works for the FBI. And in those texts, he was either apparently...
Good evening and welcome to Tucker Carlson Tonight. We're broadcasting this evening in unseasonably cold weather from Las Vegas, site of the deadliest mass shooting in American history. It's been 2 months since Stephen Paddock murdered 58 people. It happened right behind where I'm sitting right now. And despite a lengthy and expensive investigation, a huge number of unanswered questions, some of them the most basic questions about that shooting, remain unanswered. We've come here in a search for answers, and we're going to devote a portion of the show to that in a minute. But first, it's among the great ironies in recent history, certainly the recent history of American criminal justice, an FBI probe begun to find corruption in government may simply have exposed corruption within the FBI itself. In the last few days, we've learned a great deal about a man called Peter Strzok. Until recently, Strzok was deputy head of counterintelligence at the FBI. For the past 2 years, he was central to investigations into both Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump. Last summer, Strzok was abruptly pulled off Robert Mueller's team of investigators. This didn't become public for months, but it happened. The FBI won't explain why it happened, even when asked directly by the Congress. Now we know it happened because Strzok was sending highly political text messages to his mistress, who also worked at the FBI, messages praising Hillary Clinton and denigrating Donald Trump. Now, why does this matter exactly? Well, because everything about Peter Strzok's job was essentially political. Strzok was the man who signed off on starting the current Russia investigation, the one that has totally overtaken the federal government. Strzok was also the official who altered James Comey's statement to avoid criminally implicating Hillary Clinton in her now famous server investigation. In other words, Strzok's political opinions mattered. In fact, they may have changed American history. And to illustrate it, consider this. Consider how Agent Strzok handled two different series of interviews in criminal investigations. According to a new piece by Chuck Ross of the Daily Caller, Strzok was the agent who personally interviewed Hillary Clinton's top aides, Cheryl Mills and Huma Abedin, during the server investigation. Government notes from those interviews show that Abedin told the FBI she had no idea that Hillary Clinton was maintaining a private email server, in fact, only learned about it in the media. Mills, for her part, went even further than that. She claimed that not only did she not know about Hillary's server, she had no clue what an email server was. Here's the problem. It looks like both Mills and Abedin lied. In a 2010 email to Abedin, Cheryl Mills wrote this, quote, "HRC email coming back, is server okay?" End quote. So it turns out Cheryl Mills knew exactly what a server was. A year later, Bill Clinton aide Justin Cooper emailed Huma Abedin to say he had shut down Hillary's server in response to a hacking attempt. Cooper also explicitly told the FBI in his own interview